Please note, this session is being recorded.
Hi. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Andrea Dumbecki, and this is angelfairyhealing.com. And today we will be diving deep into global healing with the fairies. We will be connecting with the fairy kingdom and Mother Earth and bringing in some powerful healing energies and awarenesses to help us to live more in harmony with the earth and to co-create healing for the planet through the fairy kingdom and Mother Earth. And that includes Mother Nature and all of the trees and the forests and the jungles and all of the magical fairy beings. And so let's take a moment to open our heart to that energy and see what that feels like for us, our connection to Mother Earth beneath us, all of the ancient forests, the jungles, the deserts, the deep forests, the mountains, all of the plants and the flowers and the trees, and just feeling all of that kinship, that these are our allies. And we just want to invite in our fairy guides to be with us and to know that we are never alone. They are always with us, especially during this time of global healing, of global stress. The fairies have powerful messages for us. Number one message is to lighten up, go deep within, connect with all that is, and start to hold that energy of being a healer, of being the change, of holding the consciousness for evolution of man's relationship with nature. So as we set the sacred space for today's class, we want to just release our mind, release all stress and distractions, and we want to just open ourselves to the magical relationship that we have with the fairy kingdom. We want to open ourselves to their magical teachings, to communication and guidance, and to receiving their friendship. Let's just take a moment and just continue to release all distractions and just take a deep breath and be present as we start to lift the veil to the fairy realm and allow their energies to really come within our being and to really connect with them. So we're just releasing any distractions now and any stress that we may feel in our aura, anything that we're thinking about, that we're worried about. We're just letting that go as we come fully into this present sacred circle with the fairies. We start to see the fairy guides that are with us. If you want to just take a moment to close your eyes and just open your mind, your heart, your aura to the fairy guides that are with you. What fairy guides are working with you now and why? Right away, I hear many fairy guides are working with us, especially with our healing gifts and our gifts of creativity, helping us to unlock the talents that we may have had our whole life. Maybe they're talents that go unseen, that we forget about, but that are very important and healing for us. We just want to hold space to... Hi, Mindy. You don't have to have the you don't have to have the camera on if you don't want to. I don't have my camera plugged in today, but it's up to you.
Okay.
So I was just talking about our gifts and talents, and I'm just going to mute everybody because I feel like I hear a echo. So I was just talking about how the fairies are really helping us to unlock our gifts and talents during this time, and that especially means our gifts of energy healing, of creativity, herbalism, intuitive reading gifts, nature connection. And so we're just going to start to welcome our fairy guides in right now and just notice how we are working with them at this moment. The fairies are really excited about this time that we have to connect with them because they say we have a little more time right now, so we can take time to listen and connect. So let's take that time together. If you'd like to close your eyes, and we are just going to see what the fairies want to share with us. So we want to first of all let go of the mind, let go of all distractions. We want to get into the heart. And we want to just kind of slow down. We're going to slow down and just welcome that connection, which is normal and natural. We don't have to work hard to connect with the fairy realm. They're already there. It's just a level of existence, a dimension that is a gentler dimension that we might not be used to tapping into. So I just want you to start to be receptive to your fairy healing guides and how they are connecting with you. Right away, I see the fairies kissing everyone's cheek. I see lots of plant fairies. I see fairies doing little Reiki and energy healing attunements on everybody's hands. I see them inspiring creativity. I'm getting visions of children's books. And they're just saying that everybody is rich with talent. And it's really important to embrace your talents, especially during this time. Our soul talents are helping people to be excited, to be cheerful, to be filled with faith, to awaken the joy of the heart throughout getting through this global change. And so the fairies are supporting us and love us during this change. And they say that this is very exciting because everything that's happening right now is going to change the way that we as a race interact with nature. And so as we do some more attunements today, we want to open our nervous system to nature a little bit more. We want to welcome in the kingdoms of nature. We want to welcome the tree kingdom, the plant kingdom, the flower kingdom. And I just want all of you guys to open up your hand chakras or your nervous system and feel that receptivity. Even when I talk about trees and plants and flowers and fairies, notice how your body feels. Does your nervous system feel activated? Do you feel a sense of excitement or a grounding energy? Because we are empathic, and fairies connect with us, and plants connect with us, and trees connect with us on a deeply empathic level. And they are here to support us in so many ways at this time. So there's so many ways the fairies want to support us at this time. So I just want to make a list of them. Number one is to be in your joyful creativity, to really explore who you are, your life purpose, how you can use your talents more to bless the world and to bring good vibes into your own life. They also help us with nature medicine and energy healing. That means that we have a deeply sacred connection with nature that we have kind of lost or forgot about as a race. So the fairies help us to heal that relationship, reawaken it, and realize how natural and normal it is for us. Our natural connection to the plants and trees around us, our natural connection to the earth beneath us. The third way they want to help us is they want to help us to be ambassadors between humans and fairies. Even when we pray for global healing, we could involve the fairies because the fairies are helping on a deep level to shift the consciousness and help us to change environmental laws, live more sustainably, to honor the healing gifts of nature that really help us as humans to be happy, healthy, and well balanced. So I just want you to welcome the gifts of the fairies right now. And I want you to specifically notice what fairies are with you. So we're going to take a little journey now, and then we're going to talk about it after if you guys feel like it. And we just want to start to invite your specific fairy guides in that are working with you right now, especially during this lockdown, during this global crisis that is happening. What fairies are with you? How are they working with you, and what messages and gifts do they have to share with us? So we want to hold a space for that as a group, and we want to just get a little comfortable position, maybe close our eyes, and we're just going to start to relax and welcome the fairies to connect with us now. Right away I see a big unicorn, and it's of the fairy realm, and it's kind of bringing a light into my heart. I also see some flower fairies with me, green man kind of fairy energy, pixies, all kinds of stuff, gnomes, elves. So just be aware of what beings you might have visions of or sense or feel. And I'm just going to hold space for that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to continue to open our heart, relax our mind, let go of distractions, and we're just going to imagine that we are literally opening a beautiful magical door. Maybe it's like a door to a secret garden, maybe an ivy-covered door with a beautiful doorknob. And we're opening that door and we're imagining that we are literally walking into the fairy dimension and that we are inviting the fairies to interact with us. Notice who's on the other side of that door. Notice how excited they are to see you. Maybe you're going to a tea party and you're sitting with them and they're greeting you and they look familiar. Look around. Maybe there's just one fairy, maybe there's multiple fairies, or maybe there's different types of elemental beings. Maybe there's an animal or a giant butterfly. Anything that you sense or feel is perfect. Just be aware of whoever's coming to visit you and how they would like to share their messages with you. Are they speaking to you telepathically? Have they been giving you messages all along? I feel a lot of butterfly energy here. I also see a fawn. Also a little snail is coming up. So just be aware of any creatures that want to interact with you, and then start to listen to their messages. You might get telepathic messages. You might have visions. But most of all, they're giving you a calming, sweet energy, an inner child healing energy, and also kind of like a stillness, a slowing down and connecting with your inner child, with the world around you, the natural world, and all the magical possibilities, right? Your relationship to the plants and the animals, your relationship to ideas and creativity. Maybe you've been having a creative idea that you've been ignoring, but it comes again and again. They're just kind of helping you to slow down and listen. So we're just imagining that we are in the fairy realm. We're sitting at a fairy tea party. All the fairies and animals and all their little friends are coming around you. And notice what else is there. Are there trees with faces? Maybe a castle? Maybe a waterfall? Just notice this magical realm and how it makes you feel. We are as a group intending to welcome the messages of our fairy guides. We're welcoming their friendship. We're welcoming their teachings. We're welcoming their wisdom and camaraderie at this time. And we want to start to develop that relationship in our hearts. We're sending love to them and we're welcoming them. I do feel a lot of animal energy, spirit animal energy, and birds. I also see rainbows and winged fairies in the sky. So just take a tour and notice who would like to connect with you. And we're just going to take a moment to just receive their messages and really pay attention to those visions as we take a tour of this magical fairyland that we stepped into. We're walking down the path. We're seeing more fairy beings and animals greeting us. And as we walk further and further into this fairyland, we notice that our aura starts to lighten up. We're entering a new level of heart consciousness, of fairy consciousness. And this is a parallel dimension of our world. But when we connect with this energy, it actually heals our world and reawakens this light and magic once again. Notice if the fairies give you presents, maybe a magical outfit, maybe they're awakening your wings or crown. And they are also reminding you how important your mission is and how special you are and how you bring light to everyone that you interact with. You are such an important contribution to the world. The fairies would like to give you a little energy healing and boost as you sit with them. I see them working on everyone's feet. I see them fluffing your aura, maybe giving you some beautiful fairy foods and drinks, and really helping you to receive nourishment and healing right now from the fairies. See them flying all around, helping you to lift away stress. And as we sit with the fairies, notice how they want to talk to you. What do they want to talk to you about? Are you fulfilling your dreams? Are you honoring your talents? Are you taking steps towards your life purpose? Are you expressing your creativity? You're working a lot with the blue flowers and the throat chakra, helping you to be open with who you are and helping you to be more relaxed with who you are. So I feel collectively they're working with everybody to release resistance to who you are, to your natural expression of self. And they're also helping you to get some more clarity with the visions that you have about fulfilling your dreams or life purpose. And I see a lot of herbalists, a lot of herbalism coming up, a lot of energy healing, a lot of creativity. So just be open to how the fairies want to work with you, with the plants, with healing, with all of this stuff. And if you have any clarity about that. So we're going to come a little bit back to the human world. We just kind of went a little deeper into attuning ourselves to our fairy guides. Before we leave here, I want everybody to take note of any fairy guides that you have that really stuck out. Like, remember what they looked like, if they had names, so that you don't forget. And also any messages that they have given you. So as we do that, we're just going to imagine that we're kind of going back to the door, out of fairyland, back to the human world, and we're just kind of going to be grounded and present. And if you have a journal, you might want to write down any messages that you received. I felt a big kind of awakening in my heart of like my dreams and my purpose and a validation of them, that they're right. They keep coming back into my life for a reason and I need to honor them, and it's all perfect, right? A little bit of a releasing of the ego or the resistance to my dreams and my visions and my purpose, and just kind of releasing that heaviness. And the fairies are cheerleaders, right? They're saying, yes, these are the things that you guys need to do. And they're more important than ever right now. It's more important than ever that you are in alignment with your truest spiritual self, your truest fairy self, so to speak, and that you're really unleashing the beauty of your spirit, right? So I just want you to feel that, unleashing the beauty of your spirit. What does that look like? Maybe it's big giant wings. Maybe it's your beautiful soul colors and energy just kind of busting out and sharing with the world. So if you guys are a little more awake now, I know we kind of went a little bit into that meditation. We just want to kind of bring ourselves a little back. If you'd like to share, please let me know if you had any visions of your fairy guides or if you got any messages from them. Mindy, did you want to say anything? It looked like you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, there you are. Yay!
Okay, hey. I was seeing, what's the purple coneflower? You draw it a lot. It has the purple and then the kind of golden top on it, and it's like a daisy kind of big. It
might be echinacea.
That could be it. I was seeing that a lot, and I've been kind of put my classes for young children on the back burner, and that's really been coming up a lot lately. And while we were on our journey, that was like, yes, you need to do that. You need to do the music and the fun with the kids. And that when this all starts to dissipate and we start to get back into our normal routines, to really bring that forward and offer that to the families. And I'm a real bird person, and so I was just seeing the birds flying, lots of bluebirds flying, and just very, very nice. It was very pleasant.
Yeah, it's the fairy soul medicine they're saying. It's like it's a part of us. It's our part of our spirituality. For a lot of us that are very, naturally connected to nature and animals. And if you have a purpose like you, Mindy, with the children and creativity, I did see you doing something with drawing and books and children's books. So just be aware of that. And I see murals. I see some rainbow colors want to like come out of you, and like visuals and rainbow colors. So.
I'm feeling that too. I'm feeling that too. Yeah, the children's books has been it's coming time. That's been something that I've been brewing, and that's really coming forward. That's really coming forward. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. And it's really about the value too, like knowing that these things are valuable, in the world. And sometimes we think, oh, it's not important. It's just a little idea I have. But if you look, like the fairies show how much light and healing it's going to bring.
Right. Right. It's right there.
Yeah. So you saw the birds. Were there any other fairy guides that came through?
Not that I just kept seeing those coneflowers, and what that came up was like ballet, like they were dancing, and that the flowers were like their skirts. But I didn't get like a specific. I just kept getting the flowers like ballet skirt. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, we see that a lot when we see the fairies. They're wearing the flower outfits. Definitely. And this is good. Like the reason why I did that for everybody too was because I'm just gonna mute you because I feel like the sound's reflecting. The sound's like echoing. The reason we do this too is because once we attune you guys a little more, you can connect on your own. Like as a group, when we do this attunement, we're lifting the veil, and then you can explore more. Like before you go to sleep at night, if you're meditating in your garden, you can start to see who you envision all the time. Because I notice, like when I go to I'll see the same fairies in my yard again and again. Like even physically, the same birds that visit, and I just start to like slow down and notice those energies. Or like if you have a rose or any other flowers, you're starting to connect also with the fairies that are there. So I think it's like on a multidimensional level. We're connecting with the fairies in the yard and the plants around us, but also the fairies that are connected to our soul. That like, when we meditate, we're seeing the same types of fairies again and again. Like we'll see a purple flower fairy. And then it's like exploring that relationship. Well, why are they with me? How long have they been with me? What's their message? What energy do they want to share? And so it's just kind of opening that, and then it's kind of a fun thing to do on your own. I just muted everybody, but does anyone else want to share about their fairy guides or any messages about their purpose? I do see Visha there, and Visha, I did get some fairy messages for you that they're unlocking something with Visha's products, because Visha she used to make skincare products a little more and like herbal things and flower essences, and I really feel like the fairies are around that, like reawakening something with that, or like they have some extra messages about that and how you can like integrate that into your other healing work. So, Visha, if you'd like to share anything, you can just unmute yourself.
Thank you. That's really inspiring and motivating. I have created some products specifically for certain classes, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that unfolds.
Yeah, it felt like an organic thing, like you were gonna give people recipes and even like train them how to make their own things. Like it was gonna be part of their sacred self-care things that you're teaching. Like something magical was coming out of that for you, I felt. All right, so let me know if anyone else has a question or would like to comment. Please unmute yourself and speak, or you can also write in the chat. Let's see if anyone wrote in the chat. No, not yet. So to share about that. And Amy, hi Amy, how are you?
Yes, fine, thank you, Andrea. At the beginning, I saw a dragonfly, plenty of butterflies, and I saw a hummingbird.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a fairy, a winged fairy in the sky. Her name is Pamela.
Pamela?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, her name is Pamela. And then in my mind's eye, I saw shades of orange, red, and then ruby red.
Wow.
And then it disappeared. Once we started to discuss the thing, it disappeared. Or maybe they are still around.
Yeah, I think that you're attuned to them a little more now, so you can kind of connect with them on your own. Did they give you any visions about your purpose with them or how they're working with you?
I think she was starting to work with my root chakra or sacral or both. And then I was listening to the reviews of my colleagues, so I didn't continue with them. So
Mhm.
maybe if I try to meditate again, I will get a certain message.
Yeah. It feels amazing, like there's a reason they showed up. Like the fairies always have secrets for us.
Yes.
Secret messages about the nature around us, about our relationship to the world, about our spirit guides, about our purpose. They unlock a lot of that magic. So I really feel they're excited to do that for you. And it's just helping you really get in touch with yourself and what your energy and your relationship to the universe. I feel really excited about that. So we're going to do a little more attunements, especially in the heart chakra and the wings, awakening everybody's wings. And then a little later, we're going to do an earth healing meditation with the fairies. So I'm just going to keep you guys for about an hour. So I'm just going to see what else is coming through for anybody. Please chat if you'd like to add anything or if you have any questions. So I just want to do a little integration of the fairy frequencies. I have a few things to bring up. Notice how the fairy frequencies feel different than other, energies that you may work with. If you work with angels or dragons or, any other spirit guides, fairies have a specific energy. So even right now, I'd like you to open your hands and just start to play with those energies. You can imagine that a fairy's, even like a little fairy, is in your hand, and I just want you to feel what the fairy frequency is, and then you'll start to notice that you felt that frequency before. It's a playful, childlike frequency. Maybe it's a frequency that you feel when you go out in nature or you're doing something fun. The fairies want to just help you to start to feel their energy and know that that's a major way that we connect with fairies is through energy, through feeling, right? You go into a magical part of the forest and your whole body feels uplifted. Your whole vibration shifts. We want to start to open up that communication empathically. Fairies also can communicate through us through visions or speaking, but a major way is through feeling. We feel that hyperactive joy when fairies are around. Fairies are around children a lot. Fairies are around animals. We just want to feel that energy in your hands. We want to start to understand the energetic language that they're sharing with you and how that they are connecting with you on that feeling level, on that empathic level. And as we do that, I want you to just also meditate on if there are any fairy hotspots, places that the fairies have called you to, or maybe specific plants, or even specific, like places that you've gone, specific memories, times where you felt like, oh my goodness, I felt this energy before. Fairies were around me a lot at this time in my life or when I was doing this specific thing. So just be aware of that. For me, when I look back, fairies were with me a lot as a child. I used to always play outside a lot, and we always had a lot of nature. We had like ponds next door to us. We used to live by big flower fields of like Queen Anne's lace, tiger lilies, honeysuckles. And as I started to work with the fairies, I started to travel back to those times in my life and realize that the fairies were really, really with me. All right, so the next attunement we want to do is for a little more fairy communication with the heart chakra. And we want to just open up the heart of the fairies. Like a lot of us have fairy hearts, which means we have this ability to naturally connect with children, animals, nature with our heart. And so the fairies are giving everybody a crystalline heart activation, or a type of soul retrieval to help us to connect with the fullness of our joy and our fairy self. So we're just seeing that beautiful crystalline heart. You might see it's like a 3-dimensional jewel. And we're just seeing the fairies working with their fairy dust and magical wands, just sprinkling energy, awakening the heart. And within the awakening of the heart is the awakening of the joy, the creativity, the inner child, love, the love of life, our purpose as a human, to be physical, to interact with the earth, to touch things with our hands, to build things, to share, to nurture. And so we're just seeing all of those things awakening in our heart, our co-creative relationship with the planet, with the plants, with the fairies, our relationship to color, to shape, to building. Just seeing that working within our heart. Remembering all that joy and how we could express that joy in our life. So just envision that beautiful 3-dimensional jewel-like pink heart shining within your heart chakra, within your being, representing your joyous fairy self. And this is a gift that the fairies wanted to share with us today, is this gift of reconnecting with ourself, our sacred, beautiful self that is deeply connected to our environment and to our creativity. So just sit with that beautiful heart, let it do its work, let it reawaken you, and let it release the stress or burdens that may have started to block that energy of joy and love. I feel a kind of pink fairy princess energy with us, a kind of queen or royal fairy, and she's just really helping us to step into our magnificent self and to let go of any negativity that is blocking our ability to just embody self-love and to embody the joy of being ourselves. The fairies say this is a special sacred time, especially if we have more time for ourselves, to connect with that energy. So thank you, fairies. And please, if you'd like to chat or talk, I'd like to know what the fairy energy feels like for you guys. As we create this sacred space together, we're noticing a vibrational shift. I know I am. It's like I'm lightening up, the stress is leaving, and I'm really, really feeling that fairy energy starting to get stronger and stronger. So we are going to move into some more earth healing. I'm just going to talk about a few ways you can help to bless the planet with the fairies. They're going to give a few techniques. One is a fairy rainbow. We can imagine that we're working with the fairies and beaming rainbows from our heart down to the core of the earth, or these rainbows can encircle the earth. So the fairies are activating rainbow energy healing for all of us, and that's working with the angels and sending rainbows to bless the planet, to bless Mother Earth. We can also open our hand chakras. Imagine that we are sending love out of our hands, love and nurturing energy to the forests, to the plants, to the earth itself, and knowing that that energy is going to multiply. So let's practice that together, like opening your hands and sending pure love and nurturing energy to the planet, to nature specifically, And also in that energy, include gratitude that we are grateful for the beautiful kingdom of nature that we live in. The lush green plants, the colorful flowers, the healthy trees, the oxygen, clean water, and just sending love and gratitude for all of the beauty and all of that crystalline, beautiful, healthy energy of nature. As we connect with that, know that it's also part of us. We're sending that energy to the earth, and we're awakening this co-creative relationship with the fairies, unlocking the magic of nature, and also awakening our listening to nature. The fairies remind us that the flowers have songs, the trees have voices, the fairies are always speaking to us, Mother Earth is speaking to us, and so let's take a moment to just kind of open up that hearing. We forgot how to listen. Let's practice right now listening to the tree kingdom. What do the trees sound like? What are their voices like? Are they old and wise and low? Do they have personalities? I hear trees talk two different ways. They'll telepathically speak to me in my mind, or I'll hear this kind of very low tonal voicing, like chanting. I am the trees. So just let's open up the listening to the trees. And this is a great exercise that you can practice if you have trees in your yard, or you can just imagine it from looking at a picture of a tree. And we're just going to feel that etheric hearing. What are the trees saying? What energies are behind their voices? What are their messages for humanity, right? Let's just take a moment to listen to the trees. They're very grandfather-like, very protective, very ancient. They have a web of energy. They're all connected throughout the whole planet. And so let's just tune into listening to the kingdom of the trees and just feeling the strength and the perfection of them, that they are here, they are so important to the earth, and that they love to be with us. They're very, very unconditionally loving beings. I feel really actually refreshed just by listening to the trees and tapping into their network. I felt grounded. I feel my voice got like louder. That's a great healing energy to tap into. And so next we're going to tap into listening to the flower kingdom. And the flower kingdom is a little more like hyper, a little more singy kind of voices. Like I hear them singing and like dancing even a little. Where I know we're listening to them, but also we can see, do they move slightly? Once when I was really meditating, connecting with the trees, I felt that they kind of had a rhythm where they danced together sometimes. So flowers too, they can kind of move and dance with the universe, and they have little songs. So let's practice listening to the flowers. You might want to imagine a daffodil or a spring flower, and what's the voice of that flower? How does that flower speak to you? And what are their healing gifts? I mean, really, as we tap into this, there's so much knowledge, and they have so much to share, and this is just the beginning. And that's why we practice this together, because then you can go out, your life, in your world, and continue to listen to the plants and the flowers and the trees and feel their energy bless your life. So one more thing we're going to do before we go into the deep earth healing meditation is we're going to connect with the plants, the voice of the plants. So you might want to imagine like a dandelion or an herb like rosemary, and we're just going to listen to that plant and hear its voice and listen to its messages, right? So there's two ways we can listen to the plants. We can hear its voice, the tone, the frequency of its voice, or we can listen telepathically to its messages. So why is it in your life? Why is it in your garden? Why is it coming into your mind? Why do you keep seeing pictures of that plant? just pay attention to that. I think I'm going to choose rosemary. I'm just listening. Rosemary actually is a protector, very ancient flower. I see lots of visions of the history of rosemary when I tap into it. And when I connect with all of the plants, they do feel very grounded, wise, and very centered and just kind of sure of themselves. And they're ancient beings. I mean, they've been on the planet for so long, and they've been interacting with humans. So they have a lot of knowledge. They have an elder energy too, like a grandmother, grandparent, very wise. So as we open up these communication channels, remember that the plants will start to communicate with you more, whether that's remotely or in person. You might hear them yell to you when you see them at the supermarket, or you might just get ideas of like, oh, I have a vision of this plant. I don't know what it is, and I have to figure that out. So just be aware of any way that they want to communicate with you. So before we move forward in the meditation, just let me know if anyone would like to chat or share anything about any plant, tree, or flower communication that they just opened to. Let me know what you guys are experiencing. I feel this was important right now to share. The fairies really wanted people to remember these gifts and know that they can bless your life, and it's part of your healing tools right now. And especially as your allies, because these plants and trees and flowers are your friends right now to assist you through this global evolution that is happening. So, all right. So let me know if you guys can unmute yourself if you want to share anything. And I'm just going to start to prepare for the meditation in the meantime, or we can just talk after. So if you guys want to get comfortable, we're going to go into a deep earth healing meditation. We're inviting in the spirit of Mother Earth, all the fairies, the tree kingdom, the plants, and the flowers. And we're going to start to unite our heart and soul with all of them and start to awaken this intention of graceful evolution, of planetary healing, of raising the vibration of the planet, raising the vibration and health of the planet, of the water, of the air, of the soil, moving that into a higher dimensional consciousness, our relationship with Mother Nature, and moving that energy into human government, human society. So get comfortable. Close your eyes, open your hands and heart, and we're just going to start to invite in the kings and queens of the fairy realm. We're inviting in the dragons, the unicorns, Pan, any other fairy elders or councils that are helping with earth healing, the elves, the gnomes, the plant fairies, the flower fairies, the old trees, the redwoods, the old growth forests. We're connecting with all of the ancient forests all over the planet, the redwoods, the black forests, the sacred forests in all of the ancient lands all over the planet. We're just opening our heart to all of these forests. We're also bringing in the energy of the jungles, the rich plants, and we're just blessing all of the plants and all of nature right now. You can open your hands and send that love, and we're just bringing that heart unity that we are blessing nature, that we are blessing the health and protection of nature, and that we are awakening that in the hearts of all humans now and bringing that healing also down to government and society, that we can move into graceful change for sustainability and living more in harmony with the planet. And the fairies are helping us now with the wisdom and the strength to get through with grace all of the changes that are happening right now, helping us to awaken leadership, awaken intuitive instruction and guidance, and most of all, unite our gentle kindness with that leadership to be strong stewards of the earth right now. And know that we are backed. We are backed by the fairy kingdom. We are backed by other humans, and that we are strengthening this energy of stewardship on the planet, of respect for Mother Nature, of honoring of Mother Nature, and the clean energy of all of it. The clean water, clean air, healthy food, respect for all living things. We're also bringing in the animal kingdom in this. We're seeing all our animal allies, all our spirit guides, all the protection of the animals. And the fairies are awakening in the hearts and minds of humans the consciousness of community, of respect for all living things, and just releasing gently the old codes of separation or greed or struggle or survival or lack, feeling those lift up and out. As we awaken this new, higher consciousness, this evolved earth, this rainbow earth, where nature is healthy, humans are healthy, and we're interacting with nature, the fairies, the plant kingdom, the trees, and all is shiny and happy. We're bringing up the honoring and the reverence of nature within the consciousness of humanity. The fairies are assisting. We are stewards of this consciousness and holding space for the planet to evolve. We're asking that anyone or anything that is not working in integrity with the highest and best at heart is brought to the surface and cleansed. We're asking for fairness and protection of the planet. We're going to speak to Mother Earth now, bringing up her beautiful spirit and energy, welcoming her into our hearts on a deeper level and asking her, how can we serve you? How can we bless you? How can we be your protector and hold space for you to flourish? We're connecting with the mountains and the crystal caves, the earth, the clay. We're connecting with all of the elements, connecting also with the oceans and deep in inner earth, knowing that we are one with all of it and that we are in harmony with all of it, and all of it is rising up into this higher dimension where it is protected and sovereign. We are protected and safe and in harmony with nature. We see all of the fairy elders assisting us, opening our heart, sending rainbows to the center of the planet. We see them encircling the planet with humans, and we have a collective vision of a peaceful, healthy, happy earth and a peaceful evolution of communities, of societies, of governments, of all of the systems of earth. And we're bringing in support, any way the fairies can bring in support, wisdom, healing energy, creativity, joy, forgiveness even. Bringing that forgiveness, letting go with our ego of all of the past wrongs and moving into a new era of peace and harmony with the earth. As we connect with the fairies for global healing, we're inviting the wisdom of the Fae, the healing energy of the Fae, into our human world as we raise our vibration and we are setting the course for a healthy, happy future. We're continuing to share our beautiful love and intentions with all of life, sharing this fairy healing energy with all humans on the planet, bringing their beautiful energy down to the core of the planet, wrapping their energy around the planet, and giving the planet whatever energy it needs. We see rainbow frequencies encircling the planet. We see green frequencies. We see heart healing codes of energy, awakening everybody's heart and mind to integrity, to oneness, to kindness, to gentleness. We're bringing in the correct priorities of integrity, planetary protection, environmental protection, healthy food, water, air, and awakening that multidimensional connection with our fairy guides and with the spirits of the plants, the trees, the animals, and the sacredness of all of it. We're unlocking that sacred, magical human connection once again. We're releasing all those energies that it was forbidden or that it was not valuable. We're letting all of that go, and we're awakening the freedom within our heart and soul to have this multidimensional co-creative relationship with the planet and the fairies. So we're just going to sit in this energy and feel it wash over us, feel it heal us. I want you to just connect in your soul with anywhere that you want to on the planet, or any vision that you have. I keep getting visions of cheetahs and jaguars and jungles and rainbows and waterfalls. I'm really connecting with different places in like South America and Africa. I also felt Alaska. I felt Canada. I felt places where there were pristine nature and the vibration of untouched nature, the high vibration of it. So just be aware of anywhere where your soul is traveling, anywhere where that would like to share energy with you, or maybe it's the opposite, some place on the planet that needs your love. Share places where nature maybe has a low vibe on the planet, maybe where it's been abused or the fairy beings left that area. We can bless those areas and start to activate the graceful healing process of nature starting to heal itself and the fairy beings being invited back to care for nature. We see fairies as the caretakers of nature. We ask the fairies how we can help, even on a simple practical level in our yard or in our neighborhood, or even as an energy healer or a steward, how we can bless and support the fairy kingdom and how we can learn from the fairy kingdom about the importance of nature and our relationship with it. So we keep seeing that rainbow healing energy around the earth. We're also inviting in fairies from different planets, cosmic fairies, any fairy beings that would like to work with the earth right now and would like to work with us. And the most of all, they say this is a team effort right now. Each and every one of us has a small part to play, but we cannot do it alone, right? And we have to also stay in our heart and pray for those who are not acting in integrity. We have to know that our strength of spirit and stewardship is more powerful than anything that is against the health of the planet. It's very important for all of us to be pillars of that spiritual strength right now, of holding that space for right action and integrity. So we're just kind of connecting one last time with all of the animals. I feel the animal kingdom. I'm sharing my love with the animal kingdom, and I'm sharing my love with all of the sacred spots on the planet, all the sacred nature spots, all the high vibration nature spots, and just kind of blessing that the whole planet is on this kind of healing journey or remembering journey as it raises its vibration. So I thank the fairy elders and all of our fairy guides and the animals and the plants and the trees and all of this beautiful co-creative healing that we've done here today. As we start to shut that door and we start to anchor in those energies and ground, know that the fairies will continue to work with you for planetary healing. And on a personal level, they have some little tips probably for you to help in little ways that you could help. Maybe it's through doing a little prayer ceremony or a crystal grid or something. There's little things that you can do to show up for the planet, even on an energetic level, to be fully present as a steward, as a blesser of Mother Earth. So I thank the fairies for their sacred relationship with us today, and I hope that the fairies continue to work with all of you and that they opened your heart to deeper levels of fairy communication for your personal evolution and to unlock the secrets of your relationship to nature and the secrets of who you are as a human and how you are deeply connected to Mother Earth. So thank you all for joining me today. We're just going to do a little more grounding and integration. You might want to take a nap after all this and just kind of let all of these beautiful energies and visions kind of anchor in. So we're just going to imagine that we are rooted into the earth. We're back fully into our body. You might want to touch your feet or wiggle your feet, touch your head. Imagine you're sitting there in the center of your head and you're coming fully back and you're just kind of disconnecting from that cosmic consciousness or global consciousness back into your physical body, into the room. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I felt a lot of rainbow energy, a lot of planetary healing. Please let me know if you had any visions or anything that you'd like to share. You just have to unmute yourself if you want to say anything before we wrap up. All right. So thank you, everybody. Amy, did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you so much. I just imagined the Queen of Sheba when we started to meditate again. I don't know why. A fairy came as a Queen of Sheba.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yes, that's all.
and pay
Thank
attention.
you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes.
And I'm sure the little visions and synchronicities pay attention to that because
yes.
They're going to keep probably reaching out to you in books and movies and imagery around. I find that when we start to invite the fairies in, they start to continue to teach us and awaken those.
Yes, this has been happening to me since I was 4, at the age of 4.
What happened?
But I think that they used to communicate with me, but I did not understand being a child. Mm-hmm. But now I'm aware of it because I'm fascinated with even with fairy tales up till now.
Yeah. It's always been around, yeah. And we start to value it once again. It's really important.
Yes. Thank you so much, Andrea.
You're welcome. Mindy.
Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, but I'll still be here if anyone wants to share anything.